The one player on the Giants team who is the most likely trade candidate in 2023, and it is, drum roll, Saquon Barkley. So we've kind of briefly touched on this in past episodes, and my thought process is the Giants, what would have to happen for that trade to happen, right? Because in my eyes, Saquon Barkley was a massive reason the Giants made the playoffs last year. And I think if he's out of the lineup for all 17 of those friggin' games last year, and I know Daniel Jones was able to come through with a drive here or there, touchdown drive without Barkley on the field. I just don't see us winning many games without Barkley in the backfield. So I do think he's a playmaker, a difference maker, a guy that, you could say has lost his step. That's fine, dude. He was a superhero in 2018, leaping tall players in a single bound. And he does things that are not human. They're meta-human. If you're a DC Comics fan, DCEU, no longer in existence. He doesn't fumble the ball. Threat out of the backfield to catch the ball and run with it. In running routes, I mean, that one, thank God that they opened up the playbook for Saquon Barkley in 2022 because I no longer have to reference like the one passing play that I liked from like 3-4 years ago. But you can see what happens when you line him up as a receiver, dude. It's like you have to take him seriously. He's not just out there to kind of jog 5 yards and do an in or an out. He's a threat. So what would have to happen for that trade to happen? I would have to say that the team is winning and in a position to make a run, and Barkley's not the reason, and not a major reason. So maybe he gets hurt a couple games. They win without him when he gets hurt. Maybe he is just average, which I cannot fathom that he's average in any regard in 2023. The other reason might be he's just a stinker, which I don't see either, where he just causes such a friggin' ruckus in the clubhouse in terms of being a quote unquote cancer, where he's such a negative influence in the clubhouse despite our winning ways. Or we completely, the wheels fall off and we just completely tank, right? Trade deadline is like November-ish, first or second week in November. It would have to take a colossal fail on our part where it's like it's all coming undone. And we're like 2-6, 1-7. I think even at 3-5, there's probably a good sense in the building. It depends, but I would say even at 3-5, I don't think I would deal them. It would have to be like a 2-6, 1-7, 0-8, that kind of situation where it's like, all right, we're getting blown out. We're not losing by a field goal or a score. We're losing by +7, +8, 10, 7, 8 to 10 points or more per game. The point differential is huge. Barkley's been, fairly unproductive, or even if he is productive, I think that's got to be the trade scenario, is like, because you're hoping that you get something in return. Like, you don't want to give him up for like a 6th rounder. So like I guess the quote unquote dream scenario for Barkley to get traded is he's playing really well, but the team is not. And the team is like, has no shot of going to the playoffs. And then he gets traded. But I can't see, like, if we're 3-5, 4-4, 5-3, and he's producing and playing well, and he's a big reason why you would trade him. And you just kind of cross your fingers and hope that the combination of Matt Breida and Eric Gray and maybe Garrett Brightwell are the trio that are going to lead you to the promised land. I don't know. So, especially when you have the tag option, which I still don't believe, but you have the tag option in 2024. Like, if he plays under the tag this year and then he can play under the tag next year, it's like, why not just ride that into the sunset? When you have one of the, like, I just can't see Barkley being the kind of guy that's like, yeah, I'll sit out the entire year. I mean, I just don't see that from him. He just is I feel like he's such a competitor and wants to win and wants to, I mean, you're telling me you're Saquon Barkley and you've endured all this bullshit for this long and you're just going to like hang it up because, I don't know, but I'm not Saquon Barkley. Not by friggin' a long shot, dude. So I say that's not going to happen. I really don't. But this regime has surprised me. I mean, the fact I would have never guessed in a million years that Kenny Golladay would play like 2 snaps over the course of a 17 game season or something like that. Like the fact that he would have like a catch over 17 games, like I would have never thought that. Not in a million years. And they just went ahead and did it. And it's like, and it was just like, wow, they really did it. They did not give a fuck about that contract. So I will give them that, you know, and maybe I guess that's the other scenario is like Barkley's great. He's given us a lot of great years. He's an outstanding running back, exceptional receiving threat out of the backfield, amazing clubhouse guy, just all around awesome dude. But fuck, man, we really need a blank, whether it be a starting guard, an edge rusher, another safety or corner. I don't know that. What's the biggest need that we would have to give up on Barkley? I honestly don't know, unless it's like we're in full on tank mode.